Rain fell softly that evening, the kind of rain that didn't shout but whispered. It coated the streets in silver, turned headlights into blurred stars, and carried with it the quiet loneliness of people who had nowhere to go. Inside Harper's Corner Hotel, warmth lived differently. Soft jazz floated through the air. Golden lights reflected off polished floors. People laughed, ate, and complained about small things that mattered too much to them. At the front desk stood Lily Moore, 23 years old, hair neatly tied back, eyes tired but kind. She had been working double shifts for weeks, saving every dollar she could. Not for dreams, not for vacations, but to survive. She believed in one simple thing her mother had taught her before passing away. If you ever have little, give a little. Kindness is never wasted. Lily didn't know that tonight those words would change two lives. The woman outside, just beyond the hotel's glass doors, on a bench soaked by rain, sat an elderly woman. Her coat was thin. Her hands trembled. Her shoes were worn down at the heels. Most people walked past her without slowing down. Some glanced, then looked away. Others pretended not to see her at all. She was invisible, the most painful kind of invisible. Her name was Margaret Hale, 76 years old, once a schoolteacher, once a woman who stood straight and spoke clearly. Now, she clutched a small, broken purse and tried to remember how it felt to be needed. Noticing what others missed, Lily saw her through the glass. At first, it was just a shape, then a face, then eyes. Eyes that weren't asking for money, eyes that were asking for dignity. Her manager was busy. Period. Guests were checking in. Phones were ringing. Still, Lily hesitated. She wasn't supposed to leave her post. She didn't have spare money. She wasn't a hero. But something in her chest tightened. She remembered her mother sitting in a hospital hallway, alone, hoping someone would just sit beside her. Lily took a breath. She stepped outside. A simple question. "Ma'am," Lily said softly, kneeling, so they were eye level. "Are you okay?" Margaret looked up, startled. No one had asked her that in days. I didn't mean to bother anyone," Margaret said quickly. "I'm just resting." Lily smiled. "Not the polite kind, but the real one." "You're not bothering anyone," she said. "It's cold. Would you like to come inside for a bit?" Margaret hesitated. People often offered help that came with conditions, or judgment, or shame. "I don't have money," Margaret whispered. Lily didn't flinch. "That's okay," she replied. "You don't need money to be warm." The coat. Inside the hotel, Lily guided Margaret to a chair near the heater. Without thinking, Lily took off her own coat and placed it gently around Margaret's shoulders. Margaret's hands froze mid-air. "No, no, dear," she said. "You'll be cold." "I'll be fine," Lily answered. "I promise." Margaret held the coat as if it were something fragile. No one had given her anything in a long time. A story unfolds. They talked quietly. Margaret shared pieces of her life, not all at once, but carefully, like placing old photographs on a table. She had taught third graders for 30 years. She had loved reading aloud. She had lost her husband early. Her only son had moved away and stopped calling. "I didn't lose my home because I was careless," Margaret said, eyes lowered. "I lost it because life doesn't always ask permission." Lily listened. She didn't interrupt. She didn't rush. For Margaret, that alone felt like mercy. The choice. Lily checked the clock. Her shift was ending soon. She could go home. Sleep. Forget. But kindness doesn't ask what's convenient. She walked to the manager. "Sir," she said calmly, "there's an elderly woman outside who needs help." "I'll cover her tea and soup." The manager sighed. "Just this once," he muttered. Lily nodded. For her, this wasn't a favor. It was a responsibility. Warmth returns. Margaret ate slowly, tears falling into her soup. "I don't remember the last time someone sat with me," she said. Lily smiled. "I do. It's right now." They laughed, softly. Two strangers, stitched together by one moment of care. The hidden truth. What Lily didn't know was that someone else had noticed. A woman at a corner table, elegant, observant, watched everything. She said nothing. She finished her tea. She left quietly. The next morning, Lily was called into the office. Her heart dropped. She thought she was in trouble. Whoa! Whoa! The surprise. The manager cleared his throat. "Do you know who Margaret Hale is?" Lily shook her head. "She's a retired educator," he continued. "And the woman who watched you last night is the director of a national charity." Lily blinked. "She's been searching for real stories of kindness, not staged ones." He slid an envelope across the desk. Inside was an offer. Funding for senior housing. Medical support for Margaret. And a scholarship for Lily to continue her education. Lily's hands trembled. "All because," the manager said quietly, "you chose to care." The reunion. Lily visited Margaret later that week. Margaret was warm. Safe. Smiling again. "You saved me," Margaret said. Lily shook her head. "No," she replied gently. "We saved each other." Margaret reached out, holding Lily's hand. "You remind me of the girl I used to be," she whispered. Final message. Stars. The world doesn't change with loud speeches. It changes with quiet choices. A coat. A chair. A moment. Stars of Kindness believes this. You don't need to be rich to change a life. You only need to notice. And sometimes, when you help someone stand, apartment goes broken.